In May of 2022, a plain blue football shirt sold at auction for $9.3 million. Not a painting, not a car. A short-sleeved cotton shirt worn for 90 minutes 36 years earlier. It is, to this day, the most expensive football shirt ever sold. And the reason is one afternoon in 1986, when the man wearing it did two things 4 minutes apart that football has never forgotten. But here is what makes this $9 million shirt so fascinating. There is a real, public argument that it might not actually be the shirt everyone thinks it is. Let me explain. To understand the price, you have to understand the shirt. Diego Maradona wore it on the 22nd of June, 1986 in a World Cup quarter-final against England. And in that single game, in that single shirt, he scored the two most famous goals in the history of the sport. First came the hand of God, where he punched the ball into the net with his fist and somehow got away with it. And then, 4 minutes later, the goal of the century, where he collected the ball in his own half and dribbled past half the England team to score what many people still call the greatest goal ever. Cheating and genius in the same shirt in the same 4 minutes. That is what the buyer was really paying for, not fabric. A piece of the most mythologized moment football has ever produced. So how did it come up for sale? After that game, Maradona swapped shirts with an England midfielder named Steve Hodge, the way players do, and Hodge kept it for 36 years. For 2 of those decades, he even loaned it to England's National Football Museum, where fans could see it for free. Then in 2022, he decided to sell it through the auction house Sotheby's. The bidding ran for 2 weeks. 7 separate bidders chased it. And when it closed, the final price, including the auction house's fee, was £7.1 million. That is about $9.3 million. The buyer paid in full and asked to stay anonymous. To this day, we do not officially know who owns the most famous shirt in football. And that price did not just set a football record. When it sold in May 2022, this shirt was, for a moment, the most expensive piece of sports memorabilia in the entire world. But only for a moment. Within months, that very same year, a Mickey Mantle baseball card and a Michael Jordan jersey had both sold for more, and passed it. And today, the overall record belongs to a Babe Ruth jersey, which went for over $24 million in 2024. So the shirt's reign as the single most expensive sports item lasted only a few months. But here is the record that has lasted. As a football shirt, Maradona's has never been beaten by anyone to this day. For comparison, 6 different shirts that Lionel Messi wore while winning the 2022 World Cup were sold together for $7.8 million. 6 shirts, for less than this single one. That is how singular this one piece of blue cotton really is. Now here is the part the auction listing did not advertise. Maradona's own family says the buyer may have the wrong shirt. According to the story, Maradona actually wore 2 different shirts that day, one in the first half and a different one in the second. And both of his goals, the hand of God and the goal of the century, came in the second half. His daughter, Dalma, publicly claimed that the shirt Steve Hodge kept and sold was the first half shirt, the one her father was not wearing when he made history. Sotheby's pushed back hard. They said independent experts had photo matched the shirt, comparing the exact stitching on the badge and the alignment of the numbers, and concluded it really is the second half shirt. Both sides are adamant, and in public, the question has never been finally closed. So sit with that for a second. Someone paid $9.3 million for a shirt, and there is a serious public argument about whether it is even the right one. This is the hidden cost of the entire world of high-end memorabilia, the part the glossy catalog never mentions. You are not really buying an object. You are buying a story about an object and a chain of people vouching that the story is true. The cotton is worth almost nothing. The certainty is worth millions. And certainty, it turns out, is the one thing that even $9 million cannot completely guarantee. Step back and the number gets stranger still. $9.3 million for a shirt puts it in the same company as the most valuable jerseys in any sport on earth. The shirt Michael Jordan wore in the 1998 NBA Finals sold for around $10 million. So this one football shirt sits right alongside the icons of every other game. For the same $9.3 million, you could buy a row of houses or a small fleet of supercars. Instead, someone bought a single shirt, kept in a frame, that they may not be able to wear, may not display in public, and may never be able to fully prove. Because none of that was ever the point. The point was owning a piece of the single most famous moment the sport has ever made. So what does the Hand of God shirt really cost? $9.3 million for the most expensive football shirt ever sold, and a permanent unsolved question stitched to it forever. Was it worth it? If all you see is cotton and thread, then obviously not. But that was never what was on sale. What sold was a relic of the moment football's greatest genius cheated and created genius in the very same breath. And to one anonymous buyer, that was worth more than almost any object on earth. The cotton is worth nothing. The story is worth $9 million. And the one thing all of that money still cannot buy is certainty. If you would rather have the real story behind the famous numbers, subscribe, and every source for this one is waiting in the description.